cannot run, but Fear is not going to let you hide. He wants to try and bring down a Force, but a Force ends ground, and Champ pulls Fear back into base after her Force gets a double kill. Leap on the way! The leap on the swap on the leap!
Butchering Brax, phase shift dodges it, but to what end? They've done no damage, now their song's down, and Fnatic are gonna move on here.
Both goes, they're losing down the tree line. Danny gonna phase shift, and then when the Shiva's gone, they're gonna jump in. Koro! Big stun, double stun, feed can cancel, black hole, won't go. He actually gets two. KYX right up higher, locked in position. A Force with a double kill. Mushi almost dead, and is dead. Mushi down, SK will buy back, and GG! Navi! Are you ready? Welcome back, everybody, here to the MLG TKO US Grand Final. I'm your host, TobiWan, bringing you a game number 2 here in the Grand Final, where Team Liquid are going up against Evil Geniuses. And EG right now, well, they look like the undefeatable team that was there in stage number 3. How they go right now? Into the game. That's where we head. Drafting time. Welcome in my co-caster for tonight. It is syndereN. Welcome back, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've... Wow, that sounded like I have no enthusiasm for this game at all.
It's just like, well, after game number 2, Team Liquid, I hope you thought about this.
Okay, let me just wake myself up a little bit. I guess the reason I'm not completely in full gear right now is that there's been a reboot this time around. First game, there was a lot of disconnection issues for Way 2, and now we had a PC reboot, I think it was for PPD. But... now I'm ready, and now the teams are obviously pretty far into the draft, actually, so we've got a little bit of catching up to do. EG got the first pick this time around. They took the Lycan, and Liquid responded with Naga Ember, and EG picked Mirana. So in this case, or in this game, Liquid, we should say, Liquid banned out the Treant that they were struggling against last game, so they didn't want to deal with that. They actually did leave Ember in the pool again, either expecting EG to take it or setting it up as a bait to trade it for Lycan. And I think what's interesting in this game about how Liquid has started off the draft is that they've given away a top-tier pick in Lycan, but they have some pretty good heroes against Lycan. So he doesn't care about slows, obviously, in his ultimate. But entangling effects roots are really good. And you have Ensnare, and you have the Searing Chains, and now you have the stun from Nyx. So they certainly have what it takes to deal with Lycan in a fight. The question is, can they deal with the split push, which was, to be fair, also a pretty big problem for them in the last game.
Dude, I'm just looking at that Lycan, and I am so fearful for Team Liquid right now that they're going to lose everything. Like in the first 10 to 15 minutes, Team Liquid would lose everything. Nyx won't come online. Ember Spirit will be forced back too far. Naga Siren won't even get her ulti off in time. This is just the way I'm seeing this come out from EG. Like, they have a Rubik and a Mirana, and again, we actually have a hero which is like an older kind of combination. I say older. Ancient Apparition is still not being selected just yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And with that kind of combination, with both like telekinesis into Arrow with Cold Feet, and then Chilling Touch bonus damage on top of this, you can kill off anybody from Team Liquid right now.
I feel like the Rubik pickup makes a lot of sense because there's some really good abilities to steal.
Oh, I'm going with both of them. I'm talking aggro trialing with this guy.
Yeah, at the same time, though, again, I'm wondering how EG are planning, again, when you're playing against Ember, to me it's like I wouldn't say there are 2 ways of playing against it, because there are obviously a multitude of ways of playing against any hero, but the 2 main things I would keep in mind if I give Ember away is either I pick a really strong, self-sustainable pushing lineup that doesn't get broken by Sleight of Fist, or I pick significant silences and stuns to lock him down with, yeah, well, I feel like those are the 2 main things you would want to do. And this time around, EG are, you know, they don't have that much against Ember either this game. Like,
no, wait for the last pickup, man.
Yeah, they're going to have to get something there.
Because right now, I'm actually feeling that this is actually going to be a Drow Ranger EG lineup. And the main reason why I'm thinking this is because, like, I'm still feeling we're going to have, like, a Lycan safe lane, Mirana, Rubik, CM top, and then you put the Dro Ranger. So you put in the Dro Ranger aura for like Rubik and CM to enjoy. Lycan then gives the Howl buff up on top of that, which then gives Dro Range even more presence in that middle lane up against the Ember Spirit. And you cannot underestimate the power of Gus these days. It really, really hurts, and that long silence duration may just be what you need to lock down the Ember Spirit.
It's really good to have. I would agree that the last core that EG pick now needs a silence or a stun. And not just any stun, but it needs to be a targeted stun or a silence that's easy to land. And of course, Gust now, compared to the old Drow Ranger silence, is a lot easier to hit because it's directional and it's not AoE cast in the same way as before. And I think the cast animation might actually be shorter as well. It feels like it gets thrown out.
The animation is almost instant.
Yeah. So that's a great pickup to have against Ember. At the same time, though, Ember is one of those heroes where if you catch... Drow Range's biggest weakness is if she gets caught out in melee range by someone. And Ember is one of the heroes that can really close the gap together with Nyx.
Visage could do that. Nyx Assassin could do the same kind of thing.
But I would agree. I think... I personally am not a big Drow fan whatsoever. But if you like the hero...
Hatred towards you, syndereN. Hatred towards you.
I mean, you can think the hero is attractive and that kind of stuff. I'm fine with that, but... just the hero itself just doesn't appeal to me at all, and I'm still having a hard time placing it into lineups. And what I wanted to say is, since EG is a team that like playing the hero, or at least Arteezy does, this was one of the games where I could see it making a lot of sense. So even though I'm critical about it, I could imagine it in this game, and there are pretty few games where I can really imagine a Drow Ranger being the best pick. I just feel like most of the time there are better choices.
How many games could you imagine a offlane troll warlord being the best pick?
I don't think he's offlane.
You don't think? You would actually
wait, hang on, let me see. How are they laning this? So,
it's
the way it looks...
Arteezy mid.
Okay, tri-laning against Naga, Dazzle, Visage is kind of suicide, though. So, yeah, it could be a troll offlane. Maybe he's jungling from level 1.
I'm still going to go on the back of EG wanting to throw the aggro try. It just looks so much more... inviting for their lineup to do it, and then you could put Universal.
Is sick though. You don't really want to challenge into Visage, Naga, Dazzle. It's such an incredible lane. You definitely need to have a solid lane to fight up against that.
They're doing it, man. 5-man smoke from EG. They're coming up north. They're looking to fight.
This is going to be a fight.
It's a level 1 Howl. Yeah, right. Telekinesis, long range arrow, maybe a Nova will be all they really require. And then Arteezy, he's already giving his buff up. But they need to get a good sight vision. And now Arteezy's going to walk around the corner at the perfect time. But then again, Telekinesis, a little bit late to react there. Zai and Demon, there's your range. And the arrow connects on TC. It's a good stun duration. They need to kill him off quickly. A double stun by Bulba. Shadow Grave by Demon. But Demon's going to go down here too if he's not too careful. TC has to run back the other way. A nice quick fist, but the first blood will be dealt out. Demon on 31 life points was able to outrun the EG boys. But first blood is spilt and it goes to the Mirana.
This is one thing Liquid's lineup is not good at. It's really weak on level 1. They don't have anything. The Nyx stun is okay, of course, if you hit multiple targets and you get it right. Visage has to choose between Soul Assumption and Grave Chill. Soul Assumption is awesome if your team can set you up for it, but Liquid just don't have the level 1 fight here. And EG making the perfect call here, in my opinion. Even if they don't find Liquid, they can at least get themselves some sort of superiority in vision. And any fight that breaks out is theirs. When you have Arrow... you have setups for it, you have Howl, like you said, they just have more damage, and very easy for EG here to get the first blood, and they are indeed going to run an aggressive trial here, and maybe because of that first blood, it doesn't mean extremely much. Who got it, actually? Okay, Mason got it.
It was Mirana.
That is kind of a big deal, starting out with a Ring of Bassi and 200 gold on the carry in the lane.
Yeah. See,
and they have triple range.
I'm still feeling that this, it's the triple range, but it's also with this Howl buff up. Like, you're giving a bonus 20 damage to Zai and Mason on the lane. And then you got Crystal Maiden as well as Rubik. Two of the greatest support controllers in the game in the early levels. Like, you got Telekinesis, Nova, and Frostbite. Just those three together, and you're all good. Like, TC, it's the Telekinesis into the arrow. Now with the Nova, it's a quick fist, but there's enough damage, and that's not even with the Howl bonus damage. Mason, the Shallow Grave! Demon comes perfectly back in. This is a Dazzle that's only got Shallow Grave. He can't give the Shadow Wave to TC and get this guy back up and running again. And there's no salves available. What does TC want to do? Sit at the back and try and fist him all the time?
Here's the problem. So the way I was
telekinesis
expecting...
again.
Oh, boy.
Arrows coming in, and TC, this time it's actually going to be evaded. But Nova from Crystal Maiden, that'll be on the maximum range, the edge of that.
TZ was just trying to get experience. So here's my point about this top lane. I was expecting Liquid to put the Ember mid and the Naga top, and we're seeing exactly why it's a problem putting Ember there here. So he is very weak in the early levels against this type of lane. He has 1 armor, and before he gets some significant levels, he doesn't provide the same sort of utility Naga does in the lane with her 6 armor, and of course with Riptide and Ensnare. So if this is what EG were expecting, I think their laning is perfect here, just to lock down the Ember. He's a melee hero against triple range and he has 1 armor. It's really hard to get farm, and his supports can't do enough for him. So I'm really surprised Liquid chose to do this. I think it's way too risky to safe lane the Ember in this game.
I'm with you on it, man, but maybe they just thought that putting a Naga up against Arteezy was a better start, and they shift the Ember into the middle lane after Koivra ensures he's level 6. But even then, it's like maybe that is what they're searching for. They need that sleep to try and control up EG, but at the same time, you're going to get the same effect out from Bulba or a high-level Ember Spirit. And we've got PPD trying to go for a rotation. This won't work with the Observer Ward watching him.
Ember is one of the heroes in the game that has the most potential with a good start and that has the least with a bad start. Like, this hero is so much about snowballing, and if you put him in a safe lane that doesn't win, and he gets low levels as a result of that,
they're going to try and find top lane. Demon evades the arrow to start with because PPD, he saw him coming in from behind with that Observer Ward. A quick wave out. He does still have Shallow Grave available, and Demon's going to have to use to keep himself alive. Tries to juke around the tree lines and buy time for TC and Way2 to dish out some damage. Leaping up is Mason into the line of Demon. Path to freedom.
Oh!
He even casts a new little path and gets himself away.
Uh-oh.
Arrow.
Oh, the cheeky plays. Wow. Amazing. A classic tango juke there from Demon. That was a great play.
But you notice he didn't cut a straight line. He cut up and forced him to go around. So even following him in there, to know that path would have been so difficult for for them to find him.
Yeah, that was really nice. But at the same time, it's a great juke. But it was still Liquid initiating. They were trying to get something out of that, and they barely escaped with 1 hero alive. They were trying to get in on Zai there earlier on. And if they can't do that, and they almost lose a hero, you know, this Ember Spirit isn't getting anything. He's got 4 CS at 4 minutes in the safe lane, and if that was what Liquid were banking on, they're in a hell of a lot of trouble. And I think Ember Spirit is just such a hero. If he can get a lane against any melee hero in mid, I think you should take it. Because he just benefits so much more from it, and Naga could have been much stronger in the top lane, I feel. And they're paying the price.
The price hasn't even started to be paid yet, because we've got a Troll Warlord about to crack level 6 on this bottom lane. Bulba can't control him at all. This was known from the very, very start. But you're going to give Hal bonus damage, so a bonus 20 damage with the Troll attack speed, and then the level of control coming out from EG. This... Problem is, mischance, but now he's got this back again. And Universe, well, there's a mana burn available. Bulba needs to hit him at least 1 more time here. And now with the mana burn, 1 extra attack, mischance to back up again, and Bulba's gonna die here to the tower. He came in too close. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Rubik's been picked off. Mason dived in a little bit deeper to find out TC. With Soul Assumption damage, the 2 supports try and get the kill. Demon has to Shallow Grave. No other choice. But this now means that Mason might need to pick himself up a triple kill right now. Into the corner. There's the arrow. Takes 1. Attacks up higher, but it's going to be the creep wave to kill him off. Mason will take a double kill, but basically it's a triple.
Okay, this this is starting to look scary. It was actually good for Liquid to get a kill up here, but of course they paid a way too big price for it. And when the Mirana is level 6 and the Ember is level 3, and Mirana has face boots, TC is not going to get a creep anymore. And he got 5 so far, so technically it's not really that big of a difference. But yeah, this lane is just absolute hell for Liquid. And the problem is, I don't see the opportunity for a comeback from anything else than a gank from Bulba. And since he just died to the Troll, which I actually think it was a really good attempt from Bulba, and I think he's been doing a good job in the bottom lane with his farm compared to the Troll. They're pretty much even, and I think that's a good job for the Nyx. Troll is a hard hero to play against as a melee hero like Nyx there, but the kill he just gave away just lost the lane. And if he would have got that kill, he would have immediately been able to gank with Vendetta. That's the big difference here, is that it cost him 1.5 minutes, basically, to make that mistake in the bot lane.
Zaya's trying to come up here and catch out TC. Problem for them is the support's now rotating over. Demon will get the poison sting off, but now Moonlight Shadow's already up and running. It's a wonderful chain. The fist into the chain. They throw down the sentry wards as well, which means they'll de-ward out that observer ward, which only just got placed. That's a good pick off for Team Liquid.
A very nice sleight of fist into chains there from TC to get that angle across the tree line. That must have been on the limit of the range as well, so great knowledge there from him. Bottom lane, Bulba. Zai's coming down with a dust.
And they'll try and get the kill. Try and expose Bulba out. Like, he's just... Like, maybe if Universe can bait out the Vendetta, they can give it a crack.
It's interesting how... Oh, wait. Bulba's TPing mid.
Yeah, they're looking for finally Arteezy. He's been so overconfident in this lane that it should be possible to get this kill, and now it is. Arteezy, the stun, Bulba's going to hit it, and he got it. Riptide, extra damage, and Arteezy will go down here. Really good rotation. He backed up as though you normally would from an aggressive troll, so it wasn't flagged as missing. Now way too sexy top lane. He's going to grave chill up, but the arrows there, the Frostbite Demon, he's saving the shallow grave until the Starfall was coming down. Now the poison to Mason, way too, he throws out his last little heal, last little nuke over on PPD. The heal from Demon wasn't enough to keep him alive, and TC also licking his wounds.
And now we've got Mason with 4-0-2. And Face Boots and 2,000 gold at 7 minutes. He could actually buy a Midas now and have, yep,
Boom.
8-minute Face Midas aggressive tri-lane Mirana. That's more than what EG could have hoped for. And I think you made a really good point that Arteezy in mid lane has just been playing so aggressively because he hasn't been afraid of the gank, because who would have ganked him until Bulba came? The top lane is struggling so much to deal with their own that he could play so aggressively in Koikwa that he got a significant lead on CS. He's 10 CS ahead against the Naga with a melee hero. That's pretty good. And sure, Bulba got the kill, but it just opened up the bottom lane to troll a lot more, and eventually also resulted in Bulba being unable to help out top when it was really needed. So EG on all fronts kind of winning right now, and already, let's see, how much is that? 3,500 gold at 8 minutes.
And that's only with
it's
one
even
tower
more
down.
one-sided than the last game's early game.
You're going to have... it's going to get worse too with the tier 1 tower in mid. You just see how fast that top tier 1 tower went down. Again, it's the Howl with the troll ulti, but then you bring in like Lycan with his wolves, and Mirana's like early farm already. Like, they just melt through towers. You think Leshrac Edict is nice and fast getting through buildings, or Pugna Blast, but not in this case. In this case, EG's just doing it the old-fashioned way with just raw DPS. And this is just, look at Arteezy. He's basic attacking the mid tower with wolves and himself. Takes no damage, brings down a half-life, and forces a fortification. Because Koifa cannot defend this middle lane.
This move has to work for
He's got an ulti. Koifa's got an ulti right now. If he catches 3 heroes here, they're going to start up over on Zai, and there's all sorts of damage into the heal. Now with the mirror images, Koifa's still taking a lot of damage, and there goes Yanaga ulti. Moonlight Shadow was also cast, but Liquid, they're going to be happy with a Rubik pickoff and then just backing up, because Arteezy also lit off that Shapeshifter. Which means they'll at least be able to defend the mid-tier 1 tower.
For the moment, Mason is looking for a sniper arrow here. This is a really good angle, because it's very hard to see it coming when it flies across the tree line. Let's see. Oh, okay. Liquid will avoid it, but they're going to lose the tower.
Yep.
They can't take this fight. At least TC gets some space. Oh boy, he needs it.
He's in double figures for CS. Woo woo!
But if you're trading towers for CS, it's, you know, it can only go one way. Those trades are really not favoring you if you're Liquid right now, and that's 5,000 gold, 2,000 experience, and I mean, at this point, it's really early into the game, so a lead of this magnitude is absolutely crazy. But they still have 3,100 gold on Koikva, so I'm not going to count out Liquid if they manage to get the Radiance at a reasonable timing, because in this game, EG don't necessarily have the best lineup to dealing with a farm Naga. They don't have any really sick illusion killers.
How about
win the game before she gets the Radiance, and
bottom lane's gonna be
she's looking good for that
Sentry
right now.
Ward just went down. They're gonna find Bulba. Telekinesis pick up. Frostbite as well. They're gonna hold him there. Spike Cabrasso helps to return the stun, and now in comes TC. Zai pops almost instantly. They want to get off PPD as well. As well, was that a okay? No, I thought for a moment it was gonna be a fist into a chain mistake, but again, Rubik gets sniped out. Suppose the tier 2 tower's still up for Liquid. I'm searching for like good points here.
This,
Visage will hit level 6. Familiars are available.
yeah, they're getting some things now that are really useful. Of course, the ultimate and Visage is crucial, and at the same time, again, more farm for TC. He's starting to get something, but right now, if I'm a Liquid fan, all my hope is with Koikva in this game. It's really down to him to get.
Oh, they're gonna lose him. Caught in the tree line, he doesn't have smoke, and where's his arrow coming? And Koifa, he hugs the wall close enough, he's going to be okay, and Demon with him means they will be able to survive this one. So turn for the poison, in with the Riptide as well as the mirror images. They get to Shallow Grave Koifa and get these wolves off him. If they get close enough, they'll kill him off. That's why Bulbous Spike, Carapace up, turns over towards Mason, but the Moonlight Shadow protects him. TC was looking for a jump in himself, but he needs to stay farming up. Liquid should be very lucky they kept Koifa alive then. But he's got to go down there and sell his branch and pick up that relic. He's going to do it now before he loses it.
I mean, for a team that's really losing this game, a 12-minute relic is all you can ask for. Koikva has pretty much played a flawless game so far. He has great farm in the mid lane, and his one song usage was the way it should be. All his ability usages have been correct. Yeah,
Bulba needs help for this one. That's why TC's moving so aggressively down the lane. So first hit, and where's the leap? He was waiting for the leap, and he balls up the stun. The jump will go too, but the mistiming on the chains. And then there's no mana left for TT to go on that. It's like Bulba needed to start with his stun, but he knew he also needed the damage of Vendetta to get the kill on TC. On Mason, sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually... I don't know if they needed the Vendetta there. I think they needed it because Bulba wanted to go that early. If he waits a little longer so TC's closer, I think a stun setup is enough. Ember Spirit is an awesome hero at chasing down enemies, but of course, well... When TC doesn't have not a single point, because the first point in Flame Guard is pretty terrible, but if he had more points in Flame Guard, I think they didn't need the Vendetta, but maybe in hindsight they actually had to do that to even have enough damage. Because TC he's only level 8 at 13 minutes, compared to Mason's 11. He's putting on some pressure now, though. Am I still gonna get out?
You might want to turn your eyes up towards the top lane now. Vendetta's available for the next assassin. They're smoked up, so they could walk underneath that sentry wall and be fine as, wait, what? He killed him back behind the towers, now back at the tier 2 tower. He got the kill at the end of the day. Did you see how?
I do not know how that happened. I wasn't looking at that.
Neither was I. I was watching the smoke movement up top.
You might have just read, I'm not sure, but it must be a good Sleight of Fist. I don't even know if he had the mana for Sleight and Searing Chains, but... Maybe Mason thought he could stay down there and ferry down a salve, for example, and TC might have just caught him off guard.
Real trouble. He's telekinetic Bulba up, and what he stole? He stole Vendetta.
Oh, nicely played.
Demons coming in with Duster when they got the reveal off. Now Bulba has to go for the stun. Jump in by TC, and Zai will be caught out. Liquid, man, they're working their way back into this.
They're doing a good job here.
8,000 gold behind or not, it's still some work to be done. But Koiva's reaching his Radiance. Another key critical thing for him. Way2's is actually able to stay solo there in the middle lane because of the familiars. And Koiva's getting the top lane of free farm while TC's finding kills elsewhere. This was a 0-3 Ember Spirit who's now 2-3-4.
He's been getting, relative to his start, he's been having a pretty good comeback here. So he was absolutely terrible in net worth, and now he's top 5. Still behind by a significant margin
Koiva.
to other cores, but...
He needs mana. He needs a Shallow Grave right now too. Frostbite will go and hold him there, and there it is. The sleep to get him out. He's 20 gold away. The arrow demon. Don't take that. But he's 20 gold away. Okay, now he's got it. So he has the Radiance. If he died then, the Radiance would have been delayed by at least 1 to 2 minutes.
And right now every second counts for Liquid.
They're trying to force this bottom tier 1 tower and get a trade. Is it going to be worth the fortification? Yeah, it is. Fortification up. Koiva TP's to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
Oh my god, this mid tower.
Yep.
Oh, that ain't even funny. That's a level 1 Howl, by the way.
Yep.
So considering how the Feral Impulse works, of course he gets stronger in his wolves, etc., but if he had a level 4 Howl, that would have gone even faster. So the EG only need like 10 seconds next to a tier 2 and it's just gone. Maybe even less than that. Maybe 8 seconds when they use everything.
Once the Lycan has the Necro 3 up too, and you get your 4 points up in Howl.
Yeah.
And then, you also trigger like a drum charge on top of that. Can you actually reach your max speed?
The max attack speed is 400% increase, so I think that's unlikely to be able to reach that.
Well, you get 180 coming out from the battle trance level 3.
Yeah,
Then you got your drum buff up.
That's another 10.
Yep, that's another 10. Yeah, we won't reach.
If he gets a Mjolnir on the Lycan and a Kyros.
Oh, Zai! Do you really just see that? He was trying to get the telekinesis grab off, and with the Sentry Wars down plus the dust, Bulba's got a real hard time escaping from this bottom lane, and then Spike Carapace saves him, and the familiar drop downs. Beautifully positioned. They're going to lose these familiars, however.
He's going to resummon.
Has to do it straight away. Yep, there she goes. Waste the time of the players as much as possible. A lucky escape for Bulba.
But the problem is here, even though Liquid are still staying alive and stalling, they're losing out on gold by the minute.
Bulba,
bottom lane
you
again.
just survived! Oh, no, they missed it! You'll get a 3-man stun, and Zai's in range to the tower with the mana burn and the tower attack damage. He's not going to go down this because he has the stick charges available, but 33 life points, and now look for the fisting. Jumps down, he got him! TC picks up the stragglers, while in middle lane, TC's battling up against the Radiance. He doesn't care. Koifer is still so squishy. He's got basic brown boots and a branch.
I'm curious to see what Koifer goes for next in this game, because I don't think it's clear-cut what build he should go for. If he goes for a combat-oriented build with either Manta or Diffusal, I'm guessing, you know, Manta is the general choice here.
I'd want to see Treads going in with a casual Vitality booster and then into the Fusel Blade. Will be where I'd want to go with this. Just so you can survive through these early engagements that you know when EG's going to push you. And the later portions of this game, if you can burn off that mana pool of Troll Warlord, maybe you can finally get rid of this damn Whirling Axes, or at least his ultimate.
Yeah, I'm not sure a Manta's going to cut it here. I think it's the general choice, and I still think it's what he's going to get, because it's one of those cases where you just want so much you can't have right now as the Naga. I feel like he needs more than one item, so which one do you get first? I would definitely not think he's getting Boots of Travel. It's what some people would do at this point to just keep the split push going, but I think that's too cost inefficient right now for taking actual fights, because EG has a lineup that's looking to push soon.
So what's
the most cost-effective item?
It's BTs.
He got BOTs. Okay, so that's not what I would expect, because again, EG will probably push, but at the same time, if Koifer can keep the split pushing going well enough, then maybe EG don't get the opportunity. That might be what he's banking on right now. So it's a hard call to make, because you have to decide between global presence or actual teamfight presence. And we're going to see if this is the right choice for Koifer. I'm not saying it's the wrong one, it's just not the one I was expecting. At least not out of this particular player, who I feel like is more fight-oriented than he's farm-oriented in general, just in player mentality. But in this game, it might be what he needs to do.
Yeah, I can understand in this game, because it's all about the split push now. Like, TC just managed to get the tower on the bottom lane, basically uncontested. Now, the tier 2 tower will be delayed in its death, because, again, we have a Naga Illusion pulling the aggro back. Obviously, then Troll Warlord ulti kicks in, and Howl, and tower is gone. So, maybe not easy to go for these trades, but it at least keeps EG nice and low in life. So it's buying more time for Liquid to add some pressure to the bottom tower. And EG, the only way they can force Liquid to really respond to them is by pushing into the tier 3 tower or fighting them directly. And it looks like the direct fight is the one they're going to go for. But the Remnant was already put down. They bring the tier 2 tower down to half-life. And considering the start of Liquid, I'm going to say that's a good trade.
I think so too. And I think EG are lacking one basic thing to be able to break the base. They don't have a mech or a pipe. And
Bulba, Universe, he's going to get the stun off here as well. The images are coming in now, give him the Riptide as well as the Radiance burn damage. But then all of a sudden, phase boost trigger, Universe runs out. Also the cockiness from Universe. He's going straight into a Desolator. Talk about wanting to push high ground and bring it down quickly.
I think this might come back and haunt EG in this game. I feel like it's being less and less of an EG game, even though they have the same gold lead. It's about 10,000, but only 3k experience. And
quite far. Shapeshift form's gonna go. He has to ulti.
Yeah.
There's no other choice. But then again, he's got support in the way. It's a little bit too far away for Wade. Like Wade to 6 is just a little bit too far. And even with like Grave Chill, you've still got high movement speed up with this ult, the shapeshift. And Koifer, he's being run down. Demon, he's got a shallow grave up. Koifer, nice stun coming out there from Zai. They have still managed to bring down the Lycan, but Koifer, he's being hunted by one hit. He needs more life points. 24 life points. The heal comes out from Dazzle. He needs to escape. Now, at the same time, Rubik was cleaned up on the top lane. Damn, these walls take no burn damage. They just run straight under the towers, away from the Neko units. Another heal from Demon, and then he smokes him up to safety. While TC seem to be having a hard time up against Mason on the bottom lane.
He's still kind of far behind on net worth against this Mirana, about 3,500, but I think Liquid are doing a good job right now. And
oh, ensnare. Koifa, you only just got out away with your life points. So he wants to go on Mason, and Mason, he leaps it away. Will dodge out the arrow, but PPD's coming in mirror images. Koifa's lost his life. He really thought he could solo up Mason, but he wasn't expecting Universe there.
Did I just jinx that? Liquid are doing a good job. Koiko dies for the first time this game. But so what's really important here for Liquid is that yes, they've taken a couple of trades which might not be the most favorable, but at the very least they're getting trades and they're buying time. That's kind of the most important thing. And as long as EG don't have a mech or a pipe, going high ground can be kind of difficult. Now, we see CM actually almost picking it up. He's 600 away from the mech now. And I think that's the biggest pickup for EG in the next 10 minutes. It's going to be that mech. Okay, goodbye, Roche. That is a fast Roche lineup right there.
Yes. It's good.
Was that even without a medallion?
Yeah, because
are you serious?
They have the Deso on Troll, so why would you even need a medallion for that?
Oh my god.
With all the buff up damage.
I think they're backdooring the tower if they want even.
Yeah, they should have enough damage to do that.
So this is what it all comes down to now. So Liquid will not be defending this bottom tier 2. They'll try to split push as much as they can. And then the question is, can they defend the high ground push that's probably coming in 2 minutes when CM has the mech? If they hold that one, they're still in the game. If they don't, it's just flat out lost. But they have what it takes to defend, I feel. If they do everything right, but... Ooh, that arrow.
Yeah, good thing the creep wave was coming up at the same time it did. But I'm hearing
Liquid's going to have to do it almost perfectly, though. That's the problem. They have what it takes, but there's so little room for error right now. And there's the mech.
They're coming top. Bulba's going to get a solo kill here on PPD. PPD was a little bit over-aggressive, holding out that tower, but he doesn't know the blink is on Bulba. As Bulba still to this point, I don't think it's actually revealed off that blink dagger. And I think that was also the reason why Koiv was a little bit too over-aggressive on the bottom lane, because he thought, hey, Bulba's going to blink dagger. He'll be down here on the bottom lane to help me out. He went out way too far.
Blink dagger isn't global.
No, it's not.
That would be pretty good.
That would be so freaking OP.
You think?
You now have an Aghanim's upgrade to Blink Dagger, Global Blink. Well, you've already got freaking Ember Spirit on the map. He's OP enough as it is.
He kind of has a Global Blink.
Yeah, he does. I still wait for the day
item.
it gets nerfed.
That is a big item.
Miranda ulti. They're coming top lane. Sentry wards are down though. So, yep, way 2 sees PPD. Now, the Familiars, they had the choice to fight this one out, but obviously after you see an Invis hero, you should know that it's not the best decision to make. Familiar drop down, Zion's up stealing Grave Chill. Not the greatest ability for him, but Visage still takes a fall. And this means they can farm up the Familiars. 1, 2, 1, just
0?
1, just 1. Just 1, no 1. And on bottom lane, you got Koi for low on life, and he throws out the ulti. Only way he feels he can survive. TZ don't. Well, they're going to turn in for this bolt. We've already got a couple of bolt charges. Searing Chains has to happen almost instantly. So fist up in the chain. Koi for so low on life. The Shallow Grave will be there, and all they get is the Aegis the Immortal. The question is, do they have more? There's no stun here from Bulba, and now Koifa comes back in again. They're really trying to battle Arteezy into a corner, and they got him. But at the same time, I'm watching Universe push mid and 3 heroes push top. They all have to run back to base right now.
That was totally worth it. They didn't even lose anything on that. They got 2 kills on the Lycan at no cost. Okay, they lost Visage, but I feel like those two actions have nothing to do with each other.
Double stun attempted from Bulba. The Lincoln Spear protected Mason, but it didn't protect Universe, and that's why Spy Carapace up. TC jumps back in again. Another quick fisting, and the Familiars come in looking for the last hit. Demon able to steal up that last one, and now Zai, he took the Spirit, but he'll lose his life. EG, the feed has begun.
Yeah, this game, you know, it's kind of crazy. You're looking at the graphs and EG are winning all the time, but I'm starting to believe more and more in Liquid, even though they get further and further behind on gold. And the reason is their item pickups are so good against EG right now. Getting a Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit is what you need to split push faster and to do a significant amount of damage in your defense against these kind of sick just brute force lineups that EG have, they're going to stack up a lot, and then your Battle Fury is actually going to be really useful at killing multiple targets at once. And the creep waves in particular are going to be important to bring down. Koikva's getting the Manta now. And even though the cores for Liquid aren't getting that much, I still think, is that an axe for Way 2? Yes, it is. So suddenly he's going to start being dangerous on that
Demon.
Visage.
He's in trouble. Mason's missed the arrow, though. What, can they actually not catch up to him? And this is the reason why Koikva's... This spread's so thin across the map. And welcome to Agnim's Familiars coming in to bring down the Tier 1 tower. Yeah, that was the Agnims, as you said, for Way 2. Maybe it's good to have him back here in the team again.
So Nahas just posted a really interesting stat here. So he says that teams that have a 5-tower advantage at 25 minutes have a 97.1% win rate or something. I want to know how many of the losses were against Naga Siren. I think that's 4 or 5 out of the 8 games that were lost from a 5-tower lead. I know at least Alliance has done it twice. I think they were behind by 5 towers. That would be an interesting side stat, because I feel like it's this type of game where you can lose with that tower advantage, because Liquid has great split pushing and they have the defense they need, and it's a good Naga game. We really can't forget that EG don't have a way of dealing with illusions in late game. They have insane single target damage from our TZ and Universe, but
Bulba.
when
Blink.
Naga gets a heart, who's going to kill it?
The Wolf. The Wolf is trying to block up Bulba on the run out of here, but it couldn't block him long enough. He was hoping that it would get himself in range for like either arrow follow-up or for the range axis. But not possible.
I'm feeling, you know, if Koikva gets a heart, I'm saying Liquid wins this game.
This is why EG's pushing. They force 5 men down the mid. We've seen their damage output. They only need this one catapult to help them. Everything else doesn't really matter. But there's fortification from Liquid, so now the fervor will pop, and Bulba, nice jumping, good RTZ as well as Universe, but they need these kills to happen. Jump in, jump out. No one's lost just yet for either side. More follow-up stuns, but RTZ, BKB, into his shapeshift form, Demon, Shallow grabs himself up, Bulba back in for another stun. This time they're going to pick up PPD. Now the Troll's not looking too healthy here. Universe has to back up. TC, he could jump up for a fist to a chains, but he's going the wrong way. They went the other direction. But Liquid defend this, and they did lose their Tier 3 tower, however, and I'm pretty sure EG are going to come back and do exactly the same thing, and just try and take out another rack. So they've got to throw their bodies against the buildings right now.
That was a really good play from EG, I think. Considering how that started out and the position they got into, the fact that they lost a CM only and got the Tier 3, I think is the best they could have hoped for right there. And a great coordination on backing out and the synergy during their push. That was perfect. I was thinking Liquid were going to get 2 or 3 kills there, but they only got 1. And while that's all good for them, the fact that the glyph is on cooldown might be one of the biggest problems for Liquid now. Because, like you say, if EG do manage to reach the base, I don't think Liquid are strong enough yet to defend that kind of push. They can stall it, but when there's no tower, I don't think they have enough. When Arteezy is in BKB, he destroys the racks.
I'm going to hold my judgment out until I see the exact timing of EG's push, because Koikva right now is still sitting at 3.8k gold. And he's getting a lot bigger. And just Manta-style illusions with some extra tank ability, that'll be enough to hold him out. His major problem right now is he can't BT back to base. He has to walk all the way back right now. He is late to the party.
Uh-oh.
Counter ward's going down too, so now there's no vision for Liquid outside the base. And TC, he's trying to stall this up as long as he can with the fisting.
He's going to be too late.
And now he jumps in. Zai low on life, and in comes the extra support. So Koikva did arrive at this last point, but Arteezy, BK beat up, going for TC. Universe almost down. Soul Assumption will kill him at the back end of this play. The melee ranks is almost gone. They've got to finish what they came here for. Mason back up to the high ground. The stun, it actually gets blocked out again by this Lincoln Sphere. So EG again, they trade a hero, but they bring down the racks. And worthwhile trade. Even though, again, they didn't kill off the Naga Siren, and she's getting bigger and bigger.
They need 2 lanes.
Yep.
They need 2 lanes.
That's 1.
Double damage.
I think, you know, we've been talking a lot about the Naga for the late game, but we're looking at TC, who soon has 2 Battle Furies to defend with. And the Visage is going to reach level 16 pretty soon as well. Visage is arguably top 3 strongest support in mid-late game. So Liquid definitely have what it takes, and they have Dazzle together with that, who has Weave, which is an incredible late game ability, because the longer the game gets, the weaker spells get, because they don't scale. So the late game is so much about armor and physical damage, that's when Dazzle is sick. Grave and Weave are 2 of the best support abilities in late game, and it's on the same hero.
Should probably also point out the other advantage that Liquid have. They have a Naga Siren, all that Dazzle, and all that other wonderful jazz, but they have it on the Roshan side of the map.
Yep.
So how is EG meant to get this Aegis and Cheese advantage coming into the later portion of the game? Your double Battle Fury is now done, 32 minutes in, but like, how are they meant to get the Aegis, which is normally that your extra insurance for a base breaker? They're coming again. I kind of feel like this is just them forcing a GG call out. Like they want to take out this range Rax in mid.
Question is where they're forcing it from.
No.
Gang rush.
Oh, they realize Roshan's up. Now, if Liquid cotton onto this fact fast enough, then they might be able to have this, but they've got to be so fast. Look at where was his life? Roshan has no life.
Oh my god.
There wasn't even time to react. That was like 3 seconds flat. He Vendetta to go in for this, but he's visible to the Necro units. That's why the Wolves are chasing him down. And Kuiper's got no other choice. Mirror image and push him back
the
out.
Roche advantage. I still think as long as EG has the map control, they're gonna kill it. Like, Liquid can't even get there. Oh, here we go.
They got the Sun on Universe, and then the follow-up. Now, what was stolen? It was actually the Spy Carapace stolen right now. Universe, low on life, picking up drag back with the telekinesis. Universe finally does go down. Mason as well, not looking too healthy. These familiars working overtime. And Arteezy, he's actually isolated for the moment because of his BKB. It'll wear off, and Bulba goes for the stun. Who they bring down first? They bring down the Crystal Maiden and just move through the Rubik. Arrow comes back in again and evades the hit on Demon, but Arteezy is now going to go down too. They've burned through the Aegis. Familiars, no drop down, but Riptide with 3 illusions around. Look for the burst damage, and Arteezy. Wolfstone, but he's controlled. He's not moving a single iota. Locked in position. And they managed to burn through basically 5 heroes of EG right then. And I say 5 heroes because of the Aegis.
Yeah.
This is getting out of control for EG. That's experience zeroed. That last fight, that was experience zeroed out.
You know, it's kind of funny to think about that EG has a lineup with Mirana, Troll, and Lycan for late game, but they're still gonna lose to 2 carries in late game. I don't see EG winning this game if it goes ultra late. That's also why they're brute forcing so hard, because it looks like their interpretation of the situation is the same as mine. And
win now or don't win at all.
Yeah, because I think the one big problem that I'll keep coming back to is that they cannot kill Koikva's illusions, and we're reaching a point now when in 10 minutes, he'll have a full inventory. Then he'll have a Diffusal 2 and a Butterfly if he gets free farm.
Would you actually give him the Butterfly first before the Diffusal?
I don't think he needs it. I think Diffusal is the better choice, because he doesn't need the evasion at all. I think the Diffusal to deal more damage and to have that lockdown is going to be absolutely incredibly good here. And I'm saying lockdown, but of course just a really significant slow. It's not good against Lycan, but it's really good against Troll and Nirana to have the Purge. And well, what do you do if you're EG? I feel like you have to try to map control a bit more and try to, you know, hunt away the Naga illusions like they're doing right now. They need more damage on Mason.
You can't map control up against a like an Ember Spirit and a Naga though.
No, it's they don't have counters.
The only choice I see right now for EG is actually to push in through the top lane and go all over again. The range racks in the mid doesn't mean anything right now. Like if it goes down, it goes down. That's great. But keep the pressure on top, keep the farm coming in that way too. Get BTs on somebody like a Lycan who can do this kind of split push down through the bottom lane and then come and join his squad. And then make sure, like, if Liquid go for the trades, force them to go through their tier. They got to go through the tier 2 towers. Liquid are trying to push early.
I really think they don't need to do this right now. If they lose a fight now, that could be their way of losing the game, and they're in such a worse position when they are on the offensive. And they're out farming EG anyway. They're actually going to get this tower, so it turns out to be a good decision. They should not go further than this, for sure.
Yeah.
So if I'm EG now, I get a damage item on Mirana, and then I try again. He's almost got the Daedalus. He needs the recipe. I think that's the big breaking point. If they can win the fight with that, they can win the game. Else, I think they've missed their opportunity. And it's not like EG has been playing a bad game. I think in their sieges they've been doing a good job, but from a draft point of view, if Liquid do manage to pull off these couple of defenses, they're getting strong now. This is something I was actually thinking about earlier. Why the hell does Troll not go for a BKB so he can fight early on?
It's like he wanted the extra armor to start with. That almost looked like the greedy kind of thing, where they're looking for AC as well as Shivas to push in with.
But now both Arteezy and Universe can be in BKB during the song, and these two heroes combined can actually fight the Naga still a bit. Maybe.
I'm still concerned though about like Ensnare is still going to control.
This is the game right here. This is the game right here.
If they only lose way 2, that's fine for Liquid. And the Familiars are going to drop down. Bulba! Huge force stun, and then the fisting goes in on EG. There's more support. Bulba, he's actually escaping from this one. Well, Universe, he's going to go down as well. TC picks up a double kill. Arteezy is really hitting hard, but he's about to lose his BKB, and there's your chains. Triple kill comes in for TC. EG were basically put in one big barrel and dunked.
Yeah, that stun from Bulba was amazing.
TPD.
Oh, there's to say.
They saw him walk in with the Observer Ward. Yes, there's nowhere safe. And they call GG.
Yeah.
Game is over. Liquid will be able to take out game number 2 of our night, which means we do actually get ourselves a 3rd game for the
There was a little bit of a disconnect in the strategy between what they really wanted to do. So Universe goes full on greed, and Mirana goes full defensive with Lincoln and Manta.
Yeah, if you had something like the Maelstrom into Mjolnir, then with a Chrysalis, then your damage output would have been great, and you would have been able to force out the towers a lot faster.
I think if EG built the same way on their heroes, if they all went for aggressive items or all went for semi-aggressive, so they had the BKBs at the same time with the Lincolns and stuff like that, I think they would have been fine. But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't build to come online at the same time. And Mason's item build is great, but it didn't fit the overall strategy of the game, I feel. And the same for Universe. So they get to pay for that in this game, which, in my opinion, was looking obviously, it was looking amazing for them, but really shows you can't count out a lineup that gets a fast Radiance on Naga ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And look at TC coming back. He was 0-3. He ends with 9-3-13.
Well, you saw the way he jumped in that last fight. Like, his cleave just went straight through all of EG. And because it was so condensed, everyone was just, like, destroyed so damn quickly. And still Bulba, 4-man stun, 4-man blink-in stun. The fight that put it beyond contention. Love it. Love it. Hope to love more. Game number 3 coming up in just a couple moments' time. Stay tuned. Get on your Twitters and Facebooks. Let people know the games will continue. EG versus Team Liquid here for the MLG TKO US Grand Final. Stay tuned. We'll be back.